Good morning, students. From today, we'll take up a new chapter from It So Happened, Princess September. Princess September, I think you all must have heard this story, but not in a very detailed way. So it's a little bit detailed here, like it's given in some parts, 2-3 parts, and it's a little longer than what we have heard so far. And Princess September, like each one of her numerous sisters, receives the gift of a parrot in a golden cage on her father's birthday. Every time she would receive a parrot, on her father's birthday, and the parrot dies, and by chance a singing bird comes in its place. The princess shows off her pet to the sisters, who advise her to put it in a cage. So this story is about jealous sisters. They were so jealous of, Princess September. The king and queen of Siam had many daughters, and the queen said that it confused her to have to remember so many names. Like they had so many daughters, so it was very confusing to remember all the names. So one day the king decided to call them January, February, March, though of course in Siamese, till he came to the youngest, whom he called September. Now, the king of Siam had a very peculiar habit. Peculiar means a strange habit. Instead of receiving gifts on his birthday, he gave them. Like he would not receive the gifts, he would rather give the gifts. Now, one year on his birthday, not having anything else handy, he gave each of his daughters a green parrot in a golden cage. Now, the princesses were very proud of their parrots, and they spent an hour every day in teaching them to talk. All the princess sisters, they spent hours together to teach their parrots something to speak. And presently all the parrots could say, "God save the king," and some of them could say, "Pretty Polly," in no less than 7 Oriental languages. So ultimately, what the parrots learned to say, "God save the king" and "Pretty Polly," and 7 Oriental. Oriental means old languages. But one day when Princess September went to say good morning to her parrot, she found it lying dead at the bottom of its golden cage. The parrot was lying dead. She burst into a flood of tears. She started crying, and nothing that her maids of honor could say comforted her. And nothing could comfort her aching soul. She cried so much that the maids of honor, not knowing what to do, told the queen, and the queen said it was a stuff and nonsense, that the child had better go to bed without any supper. And the king said it is very, very stupid of Princess September to be crying like this, and she should rather go to bed and without any supper. Supper means dinner. The maids of honor wanted to go to a party, so they put Princess September to bed as quickly as they could and left her by herself. Now the servants had to, maids of honor means the servants actually, the attendants, they had to go to a party, so they just put Princess September to bed quickly and they leave her all by herself. And while she lay in her bed, crying still, even though she felt rather hungry, she saw a little bird hop into her room. She saw suddenly that there was a beautiful bird which had hopped into her room. She wiped her tears and sat up. Then the little bird began to sing, and he sang a beautiful song all about the lake in the king's garden and the willow trees that looked at themselves in the still water, and the goldfish that glided in and out of the branches that were reflected in it. So this beautiful bird sang all the beautiful songs of goldfish, of willow trees, of all the places, different places which it has been to. When he had finished, the princess was not crying anymore, and she quite forgot that she had had no supper. That was a very nice song, she said. Alright, dear ones, we'll continue this story tomorrow in our next video. Thank you, everyone.